Well, hello, good people out there in internet world. I just thought I would do a collectathon, name is pending,
Too derivative.
of things that I acquired at my most recent Comic-Con. Now, Comic-Con is just a convention for anything comic related, anime, sci-fi, any of all that, any of all that stuff all in one place. And it's a convention. It's a massive convention. There are plenty in across the country, across the world. So if you ever got a convention that you ever wanted to go to, check your local area and see when they have conventions. They're a lot of good time. Now I'm going to have a sip right here. You're probably wondering, what is this? Honestly, this is unsweetened tea. I just like to look bougie and classy when I'm talking about comic books. This is tea. This is not any alcoholic beverage, but in the case that you do drink, please be over the age of 21 before drinking alcohol, okay? And I'm a fancy ass dude. That's why I got the ice the way it does. But I promise you it's not liquor. So let's see what I acquired at C2E2 2024. Like I said, I'm doing this because a lot of times people will see my collection. And you know what? Put in the comments if you want me to do a tour. Because if you want me to do a tour of my collection, that means I have to clean this room. The things that you don't see. This in frame is the part that's clean. Everything else behind the camera, below the camera, everything else looks like a tornado hit it.
Too cliche.
But you don't know that only because you see this. But trust me when I tell you, it's a shitstorm.
I like it.
But let's get to the collection. I want to go ahead and show you guys some of the things I acquired and what kind of things you can acquire at a Comic-Con. If I remember the names of everybody, that artists that I got these things from, I'll tag them so you guys can follow them, check out your art on your own time, and maybe get some of the stuff and not have to go to a Comic-Con to get some of these things. So, we'll start off with this piece right here. Now, I don't remember the name of the person that I got it from, but like I said, I will follow. Oh, it's right here. Jamie Cocker Creations, right here at the bottom, and I'll put that at the top. I'll put that in the banner somewhere. Jamie Cocker Creations. This Spawn piece. Look, I was his daughter kind of was like, hey, you should get something, and I was like, they always are kind of pushing people to get something, and I didn't find anything I liked until I saw this. I actually do not have any Spawn pieces in my collection. So when I saw this, Spawn being a Todd McFarlane creation and a black character, I said, I don't have any Spawn pieces, so I'll go ahead and pick it up. So it wasn't too much to pick that up. Now, this was a gift, or this is a gift, not was, this is a gift, because I got his name on it. This is a gift from my cousin, who's a huge fan of Jubilee and the X-Men series. And if you know the original cast member of Jubilee, she also did the voice in the new X-Men 97 of Absika, or I'm pronouncing it wrong. Either way, it's episode 4 of X-Men 97. It's episode 4. She did the voice of Absika, but she also, in the old X-Men show, did the voice of Jubilee.
My name's Jubilee. I blow stuff up.
So she's not doing the voice of Jubilee in X-Men 97. She did the voice of Jubilee back in the 90s, in 92 to 97. But in the new show, she does the character Absika. So both characters are on here, which is actually pretty cool. Also, in the vein of X-Men, I did get an autographed piece, and there's probably a reflection, so I'll take this off. I'll take this out. I did get an autographed piece from the guy who plays Wolverine. They had quite a few people who were there at the who are in the voices of X-Men. They had the one who does Wolverine, Jubilee, Jean Grey, and Rogue. They were all there at C2E2. So I got 2 autographs because I'm about to go to another convention in May, and some of the other cast members will be there. So it's always nice to have a nice group photo that you can just have people sign on it. And then once everybody signs on it, it looks really cool to have everybody's. And I'll show you some. I got some things that I have where I've had a whole cast sign the entire thing, which is really cool when you get a group photo signed by the entire cast or everybody that's living. So one of my next pieces is going to be, now, every now and then I like to get comic books signed, right? So I think he was the letterer. His name is Livesay. I actually didn't know he was going to be at C2E2. This comic is probably, I want to say, about 20 years old. And the only reason I remember that it's 20 years old is when I was collecting comics back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I remember grabbing this comic, and it's a Jeff Johns. Now, Jeff Johns, over the past 20 years, he's not only become a prolific comic writer, he was pretty big 20 years ago, but he's like huge now. And he's done some of those DC shows that we've seen. So if you know who Jeff Johns is, and actually if you look at season 4, episode 13 of Smallville, season 4, episode 13, there's a character that Clark Kent has to fight whose name is Jeff Johns. And he's played by, he's on not Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, he's on Grey's Anatomy right now. And I'll put a picture and you'll know who I'm talking about. He's on Grey's Anatomy, and he was the white boy who punched out, I can't remember that guy in the OC, what character he played, but he was like, "Welcome to the OC, bitch."
Welcome to the OC, bitch. And this is how it's done in Orange County.
His character in Smallville was named Jeff Johns, named after this famous writer, Jeff Johns, who's been on a lot of DC comics over the past 25 to 30 years. Next item I got, this really cool label, right? Just the label, but it's a really cool thing that I found real cheap. But I have a whole bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this label right in front of the figures, and then the figures will have a label to it. Nothing big, pretty simple, right? Pretty fancy schmancy.
Gee, pretty fancy schmancy. I guess if you invest your money well over 60 centuries, you can buy something pretty nice.
You know? Now, this one I can't remember the name, but this is a unique piece because I'm excited about this because this is my first CGC graded comic. All the years that I collected comics, and I started collecting in 92, we'll say 94, something like that. 94, I started collecting comics, and I wouldn't say I've consistently collected my entire life, but over the past 10, 15 years, I haven't. But a lot of the comics that I had from back in the day are now worth a little something. And I thought to CGC grade. Now, this one is already CGC grade, so I don't have to do anything. So I kind of wanted to see, what does it look like? What does it feel like to have a CGC graded comic book? He gave me a good deal. On top of that, he gave me a deal with this. So he was like, hey, I'll sell them both to you. The reason this was the big ticket item for me is this is a hard comic to acquire. Okay, this is not a first printing, but as you can see, it says Spider-Man No More. If you remember, in Spider-Man 2, what does Spider-Man say? I'm Spider-Man No More. So a lot of what happens in the Spider-Man 2 movie came directly from this comic. So I've kind of always wanted this comic for the past 20 years, and it's really hard to get an original copy. So I decided I'll go ahead and, get a second print, third print, whatever it is, and get it that way. And at least I'll be able to have it for my collection over the years. Now, continuing my love for Spider-Man, I went ahead and got this Scorpion figure. If you've seen the card backs, Hasbro is now going ahead and doing a lot of Spider-Man animated series. This Scorpion figure, Mac Gargan, don't call me names, Mr. Jameson. That's my best Mac Gargan impression. He's always calling me names.
Gee, Mr. Jameson, don't call me names. People have been making fun of me all my life.
Yeah, and I can see why.
But I really wanted to have this figure. I have a whole bunch of Spider-Man figures, and I needed the Scorpion villain. When I saw it, I was like, let me go ahead and grab that Scorpion because I need to get it. And also, never be afraid to negotiate prices, guys. If you see a price online that's cheaper and you're at a Comic-Con and they're selling it for higher, show them. Be like, hey, I saw this price cheaper on Amazon. This is not the price that I paid for it. So let me tell you that. I saw it on Amazon. I brought it to her and she was like, hey, I'll give it to you for the cheaper price because you could just buy it off Amazon. I was like, you're darn right I could buy it off Amazon, but I want to buy it off of you, Bam. I don't want to put money in Jeff Bezos' pocket so he can go out and go in space. I want to put money in your pocket so you can feed your family. So, yeah. So, next figure I bought was Lady Deathstrike. Now, this is why it's important to always know what you have in your collection. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if this was alcohol, I'd be taking a strong sip. Let me tell you why it's important to know what you have in your collection. Guess what? Less than 12 hours after I bought this, I remembered I already have this in my collection. Yeah, I do. It's at my mom's house in Arizona. So now I have two. So I'll probably end up trading this, for something else. But that's why it's always important to keep an eye on what you have in your collection. Because, yeah, now I have two of them. So this here, we've all seen the memes, right? We've all seen the memes. Boom. This right here, folks, is that meme that we all see. And yeah, y'all know why I got it. Zoom in, all right, on the gluteus maximus, on the assets. Y'all know why I got it.
Round of applause, baby, make that head clap. Drop into the floor, make that head clap.
And I just felt like this is really funny to have. And how funny if somebody walked in my house and saw a picture of Rogue's ass. It's just simple. And in fact, I got two of them, right? Because this is the closest thing that I will have to a threesome.
But two bad bitches at the same damn time, at the same damn time, at the same damn time.
No, just kidding. Really, though. This is one of them's for my best friend. He wanted one, and then I wanted one. So I was like, yeah, bro, I'll get everyone. Actually, I just see right here. Boom. If you go ahead and screenshot that, that's actually the QR code for the person who created this. So there you go. And this final thing for my C2E2 U-Haul. Oh, it's going to have a glare because it's got plastic on it. So I'll take it out of the thing. But I'll show you here. This here is a picture of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, obviously, we got 3 replacement Rangers because somebody decided to go to a peace conference. So these are the replacement Rangers, but these are the ones that were in the movie. Rocky, Aisha, and Adam. But at C2E2 this year, 2024, Amy Jo, Kimberly, I'll say more than half of y'all, 80% of y'all's 90s crush was right here. She was there. And David Yost, he was also there. And he was kind enough to sign this. So the fact that I've got 4 out of 6 of these, do I need any more Power Ranger signatures?
The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist.
No, I've got enough. But yeah, I just wanted another one, and maybe one day I'll give it away. There's a reason why my name's not on it, because maybe one day I'll trade it for something, or maybe one day I'll sell it. Who knows? But yeah, all of these are certified, and I only got 2 more to complete this package. So, like I said, that is my 2024 C2E2 Comic-Con haul. Once again, I will go ahead and try and remember everyone that I got something from so I can put it in there so that you guys can go ahead and reach out and see what other stuff that they have. One of the things I like most about Comic-Cons is the original art that you're going to find. It's not going to be things that you're going to find that's mass produced. It's not going to be things that you can go to Hobby Lobby or you'll see at the Disney store or any Marvel stuff like that. It's actual artists who are working, feeding their family, and they have a lot of good stuff a lot of times. And it's so creative. There was a Ninja Turtles piece that I really wish I got my hands on because I've never seen anything like it, and it was really dope. Unfortunately, he was sold out. He only had 5 copies of prints, and he sold out of all of them for $100. I was like, yo, these are badass, so I can see why you sold them. But yeah, that is my 2024 C2E2 Comic-Con haul. Things that I acquired at Comic-Con and C2E2. So, like I said, if you guys want a tour, go ahead. It will probably inspire me to clean this room. If you guys do want a tour and see all the stuff that I've acquired over the years, like I said, when people see the room, they're like, well, where did you get that? How did you find that? What's this unique piece? So that's why I wanted to go ahead and do that. Look, I want you guys to have a wonderful day. Be kind to everybody except the racists, because we ain't got time for that crap. You have yourself a very good day.